Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today's episode is basically just going to be a little bit of an update on where we are in our CrossFit journey and what we are busy doing.
Just a little bit of a disclaimer, the sun is going, the lighting is going like bright and dark. So don't mind that. But basically, let's start off. This is going to be like a CrossFit update, where we are now, kind of what are our plans for next year. It's already over halfway through the year.
It's like basically open season soon.
Like this season has already come and gone, like back of the mind, done. So maybe some things we're going to speak about, some things that we want to work on for next season, some things that we can dial back on. So how about you start, seeing as...
Yeah, so I basically haven't gotten a season ever, except for the one time. Since December when I hurt myself.
He's calling.
Okay, so what I was saying was in December is when I hurt myself. So since then, I straight away went onto a new program, Buffalo Tribe, which has really been like a huge step in everything CrossFit wise, just because the program I was on, obviously I believed in it fully and I loved it. I just needed a coach, and at that time Chris couldn't be there for me, but obviously I still love him. But now I have Nick, and he really, because I know that he's only programming literally like,
this is personalized programming,
so he's programming for me, which makes me feel like a lot better. And like, even though I'm like, it's nice to start from the bottom, because obviously I hurt myself, and literally rebuild from there to where I am now. So
something interesting, since you're saying that, after I hurt my ankle also, I kind of went straight into like, I went based off of like old 100 maxes, and I think that was a huge mistake for me. I think the best thing, even when we started with Nick and none of us were injured, we set new 100 maxes, even though it was less than like what we've done before, and actually go based according to that. Because now even though you've snatched, what have you snatched?
76.
Yeah. So even though you've snatched that, you're not even working according to that, because you're not there now.
And like, I remember my first set of back squats that I did, I said to Nick afterwards, I was like, I literally was sitting there and I was like so close to crying, and I remember Brady telling me that it was really difficult in the beginning, but it gets better. So I was like holding on to that, like it's gonna get better. And I remember like thinking, I even said to him, it's so hard, like I literally, my legs are shaking after doing 24 kg back squats, and he said, you're going to build it back quickly. And he was right, obviously. And I'm finally feeling like I've come out of that darkness, where the last couple of weeks have actually been like really good weeks. And because Brady's just obviously come back from her season, she like has just started doing my block with me.
So let's talk about that. So Ashton started her block while we were in Joburg still. We have 7-week blocks. When I came back from semi-finals, I needed my time off, so I took like 2 weeks of 0 training. Like, we were busy moving house, so it was a lot of moving around and moving boxes and things, but not even going into the gym. And then when I started the next week, it was on the first week of Ashton's program,
but so I was on 5 weeks.
So she was 5 weeks ahead of me, so I was basically starting where she had started, a little bit different, because I wasn't coming from an injury, so obviously I'm not doing as light back squats or whatever you were doing, but basically like a scale, like the beginning weeks of a cycle. So what's been really nice is, for a long time, obviously Regan and I were doing a lot of training together because we were doing semi-finals. Regan's doing some rehab for her elbows, as you guys have seen in the previous videos, but she's now doing different training, and Ashton and I are training together.
Yeah, and like for me, because for so long, like with my knees, I've always had to change the program and then like scale everything, and only like just before competition I'm like, well, I'm doing it, and I start like squatting and stuff. So when I saw that Brady was doing my same program, I was like, oh my god, so I'm not actually scaling, this is real. And even though, like Nick said to Brady, coming back from an injury is the same as coming back from a competition, it still made me be like, okay, well, it's not like I'm just doing easy things, I'm actually doing hard things. And a big thing, like I was speaking to Darren, Brady's boyfriend, who's also on Nick's program, I said, like, since doing the same workouts with Brady, it's like, before I would do it and every week I would get better just because I was getting better, but I would never get like tired. Like, I would do it because my, like, what I was doing was getting easier, but I still would just like kind of do it for
And I
quality,
think
for
in your
time.
head, you still thought like, oh, this is easy stuff. I'm scaling. Like it shouldn't be hard because I'm injured.
Until I started doing them with Brady, and then I was like, she can't beat me by that much, because obviously her reps were less or lighter because it was in the beginning of the block. But I was like, she's gonna beat me, but I'm gonna stay as close to her as possible. Or I started doing the workouts actually for time. Like we have like this toe swap piece. We're actually doing it tomorrow, which is going to be today. But we do this toe swap piece every single week, and last week was like the first week where I actually went to almost failure, but it's only because I'm doing with Brady, because the weeks before that I would rest until I was ready to go, and now I'm like,
now
I can't.
Pushing her.
And yesterday we actually were fighting because she was sick, so she didn't do the workout with me, and it was handstand push-ups and goblet squats, and she says to me, you're going in 10 seconds, and then I said, no, I'm not, and then she said, yes you are, and then I said, Brady, I'm going to fail, and then I thought she was going to push it again, and then she said, fine, 20 seconds.
But you listened to me after that. So I'm going to speak a little bit of how I feel after the season. This was a really, really fun season. I really enjoyed it. Like, I loved the training. I think, like, the training that we did for it really made me enjoy training. When we were in Joburg, I enjoyed being at the gym until 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And that's huge.
Yeah. If you know the Finkles who like to be out of the gym by 10.
Yeah.
Get that 8. So it was really weird to come back into training, because like I couldn't fathom having to do like a barbell up, because I was like, oh, I don't want to. But it took me like a good 3 weeks to get into training. Like I started doing the block with Ashton, and then I'm supposed to have an extra piece that I didn't do for 2 weeks. The extra piece, I was like, I'm just not ready. And that is a huge thing. I think people don't give themselves enough time on. Like, it's just out of the season. Like, I'm not training for anything in this very moment. Like, if I really don't feel like doing a piece, it's not the end of the world. Like, I'd rather take it out than force myself to do it and start to hate training again.
And you're in
and
off
I'm so
season.
scared.
You're in off season.
Yeah.
So don't push yourself now. When the time matters, you're gonna be like, well, now I'm like literally so drained, I can't do it. Where if you like listen to yourself now, obviously do your off season properly, but listen to yourself now, you'll be so excited when it comes time.
Yeah, so like even this week I started doing my extra piece, and I was like, wow, I'm ready. Like, I'm excited to do it again. So give yourself time. Don't like rush back into training. Don't rush back in. Like, you also, your off season, you're not meant to be doing the same stuff you were doing a week before semi-finals. You're not meant to be doing 15 ring muscle-ups like in a row. Like, it's off season now, so that's a perfect segue into what are we going to work on this season?
Well, obviously I'm starting from the bottom. Obviously, we are good at gymnastics. My gymnastics was not feeling so good, but now it's feeling good because I've been working on it a bit more. The biggest thing for me is going to be getting my lifting back. Obviously, I've been doing it now, so I can fathom it, but it's like scary to think I'm going to be like snatching heavy in like a couple months, because I'm already at like 44 kg snatch, so it's like scary to think that. But I think this off season I'm going to focus a lot on running, because last year, the like last 6 months, I really focused on running and I got better at it. So you can actually we can actually get better if we do it. So running, just in general, like squats, because I need my legs to get strong. But it's nice because I feel like I'm going from the bottom and they act like I'm not missing anything. I'm doing all the steps to get them strong instead of just like skipping everything and like lifting. So lifting, like weightlifting, squats and running is going to be the biggest thing. And just, my fitness is really just lacking. So that.
Okay, so yours is like fitness.
Yeah.
Okay, I think mine's actually quite similar. It's not even like, obviously running is a big one. Like, as everybody knows and everyone loves to point out that we're not good runners.
And I promise you, we know that we're not good runners, so you don't have to tell us because we know.
But also, you know what the thing is? When I'm running, I'm not the worst runner in the world. I'm not the best runner in the world either. But I think, like, when I was practicing the semi-final workouts in Joburg, I actually did it really, really well, and I did really well in the workout. My score is not a reflection of what I did in training, but I think people have made such a thing about us three running.
It gets so in your head.
That I go into the floor and I'm like, everyone thinks I'm terrible anyway. I think a lot of when people say like over and over and over again to you that you are a bad runner and you know that you're going to do badly in an event, and it's, believe it or not, is the things that people say to us quite often.
Yes, like they're busy going, I'm busy watching my sisters compete, and I know that the running is difficult for them, but at least they're trying. And I have someone saying to me, well, it's fine, it's just a running workout, they're not good at it anyway. And I'm like, okay, but you aren't there, are you? Like, please leave them alone. They didn't stop the workout, they're still running, they're still trying.
And believe it or not, we
run.
We do run. Yes, again, we're not the best runners in the world, but it's not like we don't try. We do our best. So again, this year it will be something that we continue to work on, is running. And the other thing is similar to you, is my lifting. Not really in terms of specific weights. I've come down from my pedestal of my old 1 rep maxes and been like, you know what, if I can just get my confidence back, that's what's most important to me. My confidence has definitely increased since like in the past year, so compared to how it was. So I think if I just want one thing that I can just keep on improving on, is just getting my is getting my confidence back. And then obviously still like working on our fitness. It's what we like. We got better at gymnastics a lot quicker than we did at like the fitness building stuff. So building on our fitness, like I've been working a lot on the Hurricane bike and things like that we can actually see it progressing is what I think is most important for us three at the moment.
Yeah, and like I said, we're very good at gymnastics. Chris breeds gymnasts, so we're very good at that. That we like are confident there, and we need to get confident in the other stuff like we are in the gymnastics. I think we're going to do a couple more competitions this year. Like we're going to do West Coast with 3 girls. We're going to do Fucello 3 girls, and I think that's all. If the West Coast that's now is individual, if it was like in 2 or 3 months, I would have done it, but I'm not ready yet. And there's max lifts, 2 of them, and I definitely can't do a max lift yet.
So that's definitely is the plan, is to do some some fun competitions throughout the year to get some more like aggressiveness of competing, and then also to have fun. We are going to do the High Rocks teams of 4 with my mom, us 3.
We're still deciding.
I think my mom really wants to do it.
If we do it, it's very nice because it's only 2 stations, so I only run twice. I ski and farmers carry.
I will be doing it's rowing and
sled
push. I think my mom will be doing the wall balls and the sled pull, and we will be doing burpee broad jumps and lunges. So all to our strengths, even though rowing isn't a huge strength of mine.
Yeah. And then next year, my plan is to obviously compete as an individual. I haven't done that yet, and I was even saying
individual for the first time.
And I was saying the other day, like, going in a team for the first time was the best thing I could have done, because I went with like 3 best friends. I really enjoyed myself, and it wasn't scary because I had 3 people with me. So going in a team, you're not alone, where as an individual, you literally like, it's all on me.
It's a little bit scary.
You can't ask your friend for some help. It's literally just you. So I'm really happy I got to experience going team with the 3 people I went team with. But I really just want to go individual because I haven't done it before, and I want to prove to myself that I can do it. And also, I'd obviously want to go individual if Brady and Regan were individual with me, because yes, we've been on the floor in a team together, but it's not the same, because it's just not the same.
So mine's a little bit confusing. I would love to go in a team. Like, I really, really, really love the team environment. I really love team training. I look back on old videos and I'm like, oh, I wish I was still in a team. And we didn't not go team this year because of any bad vibes or anything. It was literally like Mike moved away, Callum moved gym. So it was really like, it wasn't anything bad. We just, obviously it just didn't really align this year. Callum wanted to try individual. So like, it just didn't happen this year. And I wish we could go team. It's just Regan and I, there's just, we don't have any 2 guys that want to go in a team with us.
We've begged Darren.
Begged and pleaded. I've literally tried absolutely everything. He just doesn't want to go team. So if there's any 2 boys that really want to go team with us, that want to go team next year,
hit us up.
But if there is a possibility to go team next year, I would really, 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 really love to go team. If not, like I say, it might be my last time as an individual, but again,
you always say it's your last time,
year, but it's not really.
Until the Open comes, and then you get through, and then you do quarterfinals, and you get through. Same with Regan. She didn't want to compete this year. Obviously, I forced her to, so
it went really tough.
I don't know what Regan's plans are for next year. She's probably going to say she's not competing again. If there's a team, she's definitely competing. If there's no team, she's still competing because I'll force her to compete because I want to compete, all three of us together.
Yeah, you know, we were saying like such a special thing is like being on the floor with your sister. Like what was crazy this year is in the events, obviously because Regan and I trained together, we basically could have done everything synchro. We were always in the same heats, always on the floor together. Like didn't matter if we were next to each other or I was on one side, she was on the other side. Like to be on the floor with your sister is such a comforting, like it's a really special thing. And like when I'm there, I'm thinking of Regan, I'm thinking of her, I'm like, you know, we've done this together in training.
And
like,
you are each other's biggest fans.
Yes.
So when one of them finishes the workout, the other one's at their lane.
Like, it would be a very special thing to see, like, three of us, like, on the floor together at
You won't know who's who, especially if we're all in the same outfit. And imagine doing some rope climbs, some
like, if it would be, like, I can imagine us three just doing, like, a really cool gymnastics workout, just all three individual. Like, it would be a very special, cool thing that, like, so if I had to go individual next year and it was like that, then it would be okay. I would be happy. Our camera died, so I don't know if I said this, but it's a big thing to overcome. Like, when I went in 2021, I came 7th, and that was the last time I had gone individual. So it was very scary to go individual again because I had huge expectations on myself, and I was like, I don't want to go if I'm not going to do better than what I did in 2021. But at the end of the day, the sport has grown in 3 years. People have gotten better over 3 years. I'm a different athlete than I was 3 years ago. Like, it doesn't matter where I came 3 years ago.
And also, like coming from dead last, like, she did the first workout and she came 40th.
Last.
Then she did the second workout and she was, like, in the middle. And then she came 12th. And that's, like, huge to be able to do that. A lot of people wouldn't be able to. A lot of people would be able to do that as well, but I'm just saying it's really impressive that you can go in and after the first day you want to quit, and after the second day you want to quit, but you're like, it's fine, and you have people making comments.
Yeah, it was huge. It was
cream rises.
I was very proud of myself and Regan for like going into that weekend, and it started off really tough.
Nothing went to plan.
And just being like, you know what, at this stage, let's have fun and just, like, we do this because we enjoy CrossFit, and let's go and, like, we have good workouts now to look forward to. So I think, like, if you're scared to go individual, like this one who's never gone, don't be scared. Literally, like, go do your best and have fun. That's actually at the end of the day what CrossFit is.
We are going to America in September.
Yes, we are. We're going to go watch one of my top 3 artists,
Gracie. And we're going to go check out some cool gyms
in California. So if anybody has some recommendations of where to go, like which gyms to go to, or just where to go in California for fun.
Yeah. And then, so we'll probably film some of that stuff when we're there.
That would be really
Our next video, I'm not sure what it's going to be, but the following video is going to be starting our new block, which we might all be doing the same thing.
Knock on wood, because it's never happened. Well, in a very long time. Us 3 on the same program.
So you'll have to wait and see. Other than that, that's where we are at, and we'll see you next week. Bye.